Hi, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my recipe for traditional Irish stew. Like the name says, it really is a big tradition in most Irish families to have this dish bubbling away in the background, and when the kids come tearing home from school, a dish to just warm them if it's been really cold, even before dinner, as a lunch or as a main dinner or supper. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. It's super easy with 5 main ingredients. All the ingredients and method will be in the description box down below. And if you're new around here, do make sure to hit subscribe and the little notification bell as well. But anyway, let's get cracking and make some Irish stew. So since it's traditional Irish stew, we're going to use up some lamb today, and this is a cut from the shoulder. If you've got meat with the bone in, you can also leave that in stew. We're using up some carrots and also some potatoes, and this is what's going to bulk out our stew and thicken it up later. 2 brown onions and a couple of stalks of celery, and then some thyme from the garden, but you can use dried, and then a few bay leaves. Also we'll be adding just some stock and seasoning throughout as well. And then all we're going to do is get a pan and add a glug of oil. Make sure that the pan or pot you're using is big enough to hold all your veg. On a little plate with some flour, I just add some seasoning, and basically all we're going to do is add our lamb onto that flour and just give it a light dusting throughout. This way when you're browning it off in batches, you're going to actually keep the flavour in, and also it helps thicken the sauce throughout the stew. So I just basically do it in batches. As you'll see, I've kept the pieces quite big, but these will break away the longer that you cook them. So feel free to cut them whatever size that suits you. And you can swap this out for beef. It's just because it's traditional, I'm doing the lamb today. But I cook mine exactly the same with a beef stew as well. So all we want to do is really just seal up that meat, and then I pop it to the side, making sure to leave all the lovely juice in the bottom of the pan. And then really it's just onto the prep of the vegetables, and that's probably where the work is in this dish. So it's something that you could do beforehand, the evening before or on a morning. So I'm just taking my celery and cutting up quite roughly. You don't have to be precise, and as you can see, I've left my onions very chunky and just breaking them up there. With my carrots, I like to keep this quite sweet, so I add a good 6 carrots in, and it's a way of getting loads of veg in for the kids to eat as well. So all we're going to do is really 3 to 5 minutes, just really so that the vegetables are softened. As you'll see, I've left my potatoes really chunky as well. If you want, you can scrub them and leave them with the skin on as well. So we're just making sure that that veg is all cooked. Check that your onions are translucent. Add in your potatoes, just give it a good wee mix around, and really that is where the work is done. Now all we're going to do is add in our beef, and again we're going to add in those flavours from the beef because the flour has stuck to the beef. Give it a good mix through again, and it probably looks like a lot here, but then it will break down. I'm using half a litre of beef stock and also half a litre of lamb stock. The lamb stock was my own, so that's why I'm using it up, but it doesn't make a huge difference. You will get all the flavour from the lamb itself. Give it a good mix round. Ideally you want the liquid to cover most of the veg and the meat. Then I'm adding in my thyme. Like I said, you can use dry thyme if you've only got that. I'm using this up just the thyme that I grow, so I'll add the stalks in as well, but you must remember to take them out at the end. The same with these bay leaves, I'm adding 3 or 4 in, and I just make sure that they're getting in there to give loads and loads of flavour to all that lovely veg. Now all we've got to do is pop the lid on the dish, and initially I cook it for about half an hour to 40 minutes on a medium heat to give its first cook, and then for the rest of the time 2 to 3 hours at least. And then I remove all the thyme and the bay leaves, and this is where you want to give a bit of a taste test as well. So a good stir around, and if you feel that it needs any more seasoning, some salt or pepper. This is really good if you want to put it in the fridge at this stage, so you can let it cool and sit in the fridge. I actually think that stew is far nicer the next day. Now my little secret ingredient that I always use is HP brown sauce, just about 1 or 2 heaped teaspoonfuls, and I just find that it really gives a little sweetness to it and a bit of a kick. It's the same if you're making casseroles or cottage pies, so give it a go and see what you think. I prefer it than wine. And then that's it, really good to go. Just add it into your bowl when you're ready. If it's the next day, do make sure to add a little bit of liquid when you're heating it through, and you must serve it with some buttered bread, whether that's a nice batch loaf or in my case a nice wheaten loaf as well. This is really good if you've had it in the freezer for busy days. I tend to batch cook this and then I can pull it out when we need it, when we're really got a bit of a hectic day. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys, and make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below. And of course, if you're new, I would absolutely love it if you hit subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye.